Hello friends, welcome to day 9 of devotional time, book club time within your greatest partner living inside. And it's for the purpose of taking us on a daily journey to know the ones who live inside of us more nearly and more dearly than we did the day before, with access to intimacy. And this is a way for Father, it's designed for you to be able to take practical, applicable steps on a daily basis to show you how much Father loves you. It was designed very intentionally. And I pray that you find it loaded with revelation and wisdom for you to know the ones who live in you. I'm going to do something real quick. I apologize, my phone is also on today on purpose because I'm waiting for a doctor to call me. So much happening in real life, right? Anyway, I bless you today. I'm gonna go inside real fast. And today will probably be a little longer, so if you're not able to hang, I completely understand. No worries. That's just kind of where I'm at right now today. And so I am sharing as we move forward. And I bless you. I do. There we go. Today's devotion is about a woman who was sick with an issue of blood. Sick for a long time. She searched everywhere for help. And Jesus was kind. And the way he was kind was he was available. Just walking through a crowd. And her hunger and her thirst and her desire to be made whole. Because she had heard about the one who had brought miraculous recovery to people. And so she reached for him, reached for the fringe of his garment. And that place within her, that place of trust, that place of, I know if I could just touch him. It's a place of intention. It's a place of faith. It's a place of knowing, having no doubt, having nothing but, like when you know you're going to take it's stronger than this, but you know that when I lift this to my lips, that water is going to pour inside of me. It's a knowing. But in her case, it was mixed with a desperation. And I want to read to you part of what I wrote. I'm hoping this doesn't come on and blast us. I want to read this to you. The woman with the issue of blood had literally exhausted all her resources to be healed. She was desperate. Look, this is real life. You know, real life. We look at our Bible stories as just, but these were real people with real issues, with real problems, in real community, with real needs. She was probably out of money and out of time. Maybe she was anemic after so many years of struggle. Maybe she was close to death. We don't know the entire story, but we do know enough. She had heard of this Jesus who restored the health of others, and she secretly reached for the hem of his robe, expecting to be healed. The Lord said her faith made her whole. Interesting as I chew on what this meant for her future. In that day, she was considered unclean through Jewish law. Jewish law demanded someone announce his or her uncleanliness when around others. After she was healed, she no longer had to yell her past ailment to the world. Why? Because she was unclean no more. She could be a normal person. Wow. I don't even know what I would do. Do you? Gratitude had to have grabbed her attention. It would have mine. She would have had to be bold in living life as clean, forever forward. It's possible she had had no friends, little to no family, and no community due to her illness. But now she would have to boldly make new changes in how she approached life and living, friendships, and community. Other people would also have to change. She became the change. She was changed, and everyone around her would have to change too. I encourage you to read out of Luke 8:43 through 48, out of the Voice Bible, and also out of the Passion Translation. And if you really want another, the Message. These are all very rich in description to help you understand more of what happened versus just a little Bible verse. I want to explore that with you. Who does God say you are? Do you identify yourself as sick? Do you identify yourself with issues? Maybe you've been diagnosed with something. Maybe you consider yourself bipolar. Maybe you consider yourself a schizophrenic. Those words come to mind. Maybe you consider yourself a diabetic. Maybe you consider yourself unstable. Maybe you see a psychiatrist every week just to remain sane. Maybe your hormones are so screwed up that you don't know whether you're up or down from day to day. Look, these are real life things that take place in people's lives. And we so spiritualize the Word of God, and we so spiritualize our lives, and we leave people no opening to be real in their problems. Whether you're in the mindset of a denomination or you're in a grace mindset, I notice that people are still people no matter where you turn. That even in the grace moment, the grace movement, people are like, well, the scripture says, or frequency says this, or you just need more love, or if you'll just get still and spend the next year in silence, the love of God will meet with you and you'll be healed. And there are truths in that. And I've also seen people who've practiced this and that's not come to pass. Have they grown closer to God? Absolutely. If that's your intention, there will be a closeness to the Father, the Son, and the Spirit living inside you that will come to pass when you have these situations taking place. But if you're in a place where it is life or death for you, and desperation is on the tip of your lips and inside you because you just don't want to die, sometimes life looks different. You end up facing your fears. You end up facing your lack. And you end up wondering, who am I? Who am I? So I'm asking you, who are you? Who do you identify yourself as? Do you identify yourself as His beloved son, His beloved daughter? Or is every day a day you wake up and you look at yourself and you see yourself through the eyes of sickness, or you see yourself through the eyes of someone else? Maybe, listen, I'm getting real. Maybe you're in a situation where you are abused. Maybe you have a spouse who abuses you on a regular basis. Maybe you're in a situation where someone else abuses you on a regular basis and you see yourself through the eyes of the abuser. Who does God say you are in that circumstance? And who do you say you are? A time comes in all our lives when we need to have an attitude adjustment regarding how we treat ourselves. It could be you are not treated with much worth. It could be you don't treat yourself with worth. I suggest you begin to speak to yourself with a higher regard. And in time, others will also speak to you with a higher regard. Will that person who abuses you change? I don't know. But I know as you change, how you respond to someone abusing you will change. How you respond to you abusing you will change if you will begin to practice small changes, small steps every day. Love is such a dynamic game changer for all of us. And I notice that some people do not know how to love themselves. And when they face love on a daily basis, it can really get on somebody else's nerve. I've had people really turn away from me because I loved them so intently and so purposefully and so strongly, because they did not know what to do with that love. Honestly, it just made them mad, and then it just made them madder. So I encourage you today, I encourage you to attempt to love yourself in a stronger way, in a different way. And it might make you mad. You may not know what to do with the love of God for you. You may not know what to do with Father loving you so intentionally and so purposefully. Jesus came to love the entire planet, not just a few people. He did not come to hate anybody. He came to love. He came to break off hatred from us so that we can love ourselves with the love that lives within us, and so that we can love others with the love that lives within us, that's unfiltered. Jesus' love for us is unfiltered, but we filter it sometimes. So this is your assignment today. Remember, every day you have a thought for your mind, you have words for your mouth to speak, and you have a movement to make from the position of love for you, that the love for yourself will grow. So this is what I want you to speak inside your mind today. I am a new person because God lives inside me. And I want God to show me how to move forward in my newness. Can you do that? Can you consider, I'm a new person. I'm a new person. God, show me how to move forward in my newness. I talked with someone recently who is under so much strong, harsh treatment from a spouse. It's very difficult for them to see themselves a different way. And I encourage them to consider the harshness that's living inside their spouse, that it isn't personal. That's the thing. We take it personal when somebody treats us harshly, but really usually it's something living inside of them and the way they think about themselves. It's not even personal about us. But we get on the defensive and we're like, why are you doing that? When actually it's because they lack the love of God in that area. So, you, if you're harsh toward you or you're harsh toward someone else, it's because there's something inside of you that lacks the love of God for you. So start today with a new mindset. I'm a new person. God lives inside of me. And love is who I really am. Let those thoughts penetrate you. Let them be who you are. And out of your mouth, I want you to say, I'm pressing into the newness of who I am becoming through the Spirit inside me. I'm pressing in. What do I mean by pressing in? Listen, I'm not talking about a striving. I'm not talking about I'm pressing in. No, I'm talking about a leaning in to the ones who live inside of you, leaning into love, leaning into the revelation of love inside of you, leaning into the reality that the Father, Son, and Spirit live inside of you, that the crucifixion, that the burial, that the resurrection that has already taken place lives inside of you, and you can lean into the love that is for you completely unconditionally. You are loved completely unconditionally, and you are loved from the inside out. It's not some God in the sky loving you, pouring out love on you, though God is everywhere. It is a love inside of you, living to love you, living to leaning into you already. You get to lean into the love that's already leaning into you. This is what is accessible. This is what you have access to. And then your assignment today is this: taking authority over yourself, making changes in how you approach yourself and how you invite God into your private world. Taking authority over you. And what do I mean? Taking authority over your thoughts. Maybe you have condemnation over something else or someone else. Maybe stopping, going, wait, if I'm condemning them, it's because condemnation lives inside of me. It's acknowledging the truth of a lie you might believe about you and what you believe about someone else. It needs to change. That needs to change. Why does it need to change? Because that's not God's thought. That's not the thought from God. The work that Jesus Christ did on the cross for humanity, that removed condemnation from the planet, for some reason, we don't know how to operate from that framework. We have framed our worlds, our private worlds, with condemnation. We've framed our private worlds with condemnation for other people, for organizations, for religious systems. We have framed ourselves thinking, well, that's just wrong, and condemning them. And we wonder why other people can't come out of condemnation. Well, it's because the very people on the planet that have a revelation of the Christ are doing the condemning. Start with you. Take authority over you today. Have a new thought today. Replace the thoughts of condemnation you have toward others and toward yourself with a thought of complete forgiveness, complete wellness, complete restoration, complete reconciliation to the one who lives inside of you. For you have been co-crucified, co-buried, co-resurrected, and so has the one that you don't like. And so has the organization that's filled with people that have also been co-crucified, co-buried, co-resurrected. But if they don't have the revelation of this, they're going to be acting out of junk. But if you have a revelation of it and you're still acting out of junk, then you don't have a revelation of the grace of God that came for you and came for those that you think are against you. This is going deeper. This is deep stuff. This isn't, oh, it's all good. Yay, let's love everybody. Yay, kumbaya. No. Jesus is not the kumbaya God. Jesus is the, I've paid the price for you. Live with me. And now let's love humanity. That's who our God is. Luke 8:43 through 48. I encourage you to sink in SYNC and SINK and have a new thought today. Have a thought of the love of God. What that woman did, who had experienced this issue of blood for so long, and in her desperation, you know what she did? She reached into love, and the virtue of love poured back into her, and she was made whole by her trust, by her faith. But it was a SYNC with the love of God inside. Jesus, pure love, walking the planet. Jesus, pure love, not condemning anybody. Jesus, pure love. Even with the Pharisees, who he had great issues with, he had love for them. It was their condemnation for him that they were living out of. It was their agreement with the law that they were living in. They were the ones with the issues, not Jesus. Jesus the Christ, he was meeting them right where they were and calling them out right where they were. It's like, you brood of vipers. Really? Here I am standing in front of you, the one who died for you, the one who's going to die for you, the one that you've been asking for, the one you've been seeking, the one that you've been waiting for. Here I am. He just called them out in their own junk. That's all he did. Saying, hey, here I am. I invite you. I invite you into this love relationship. I invite you into the new covenant. I encourage you today. To read through the New Testament with new eyes. Read through it as if you are living in that time frame. And see what Jesus said, and see what Jesus did, and see how it impacted them. And see how the life that Jesus lived and the co-crucifixion, the co-burial, the co-resurrection that took place with you, as you, see how it can impact you today as you are awakened to the love that lives inside you. I bless you. This is Donna Reiners from Your Greatest Partner Living Inside. Tomorrow we will go into day 10 of 40 Days to Braven You. If you don't have a book, you're welcome to get one. There's a link to get one. Or if you're local, I'm happy to bring you one. This is week boldness, being bold. Be bold. Be bold this week. Come into a place of boldness in your relationship with God. It took a lot of boldness for that woman with the issue of blood to sink down low and to reach for the task, to reach for the hem of Jesus' garment. That took boldness. She wasn't clean. She wasn't considered clean. If she had been spotted, she would have been called out and said, what are you doing here? No. She reached in with boldness reached into love and came out. Pure love with a new life, a new identity. Oh my gosh. She reached into resurrection before resurrection was here. That's something to think about. Anyway, I bless you today. I love you. See you tomorrow in Jesus' name. Bye.